All right, first I'd like to start by saying all praise to Yahweh, Ba'Shem, Yahushai, Ba'Shem, Rakar, Kodash. The New York Fire Department has dispatched dozens of units and over 120 firefighters to tackle a 4-alarm blaze that erupted on the 50th floor of Trump Tower in Manhattan. Right, so 4 means sacrifice, 550 still Satan. One person has died after suffering serious injuries in the blaze, while 4 firefighters received non-life-threatening injuries. The New York City Fire Department said, and that's 5 again. It says FDNY crews were called on the 50th floor of the building and on 5th Avenue shortly before 6 p.m. Saturday, right? So that's Satan. That's Satan altogether, man. And if you wanted to say Saturday was the 6th day, as far as in how they counted to go, then you got 6, 6, 6, and then 5. It says 36 units, which 6 times 6 is 36, and 126 firefighters, 6, 7, 8, 9, which is 6. Responded to the 4-alarm fire, right? So that's all Satan, man. It really just mean the downfall of America, man. I'm gonna read this real quick. FDNY, Satan. We found fire on the 50th floor of the building. The apartment was entirely on fire. Members pushed in heroically. They were knocking down the fire and found one occupant of the apartment who is in critical condition. Commissioner Nigro gives update on 721 5th Avenue, 4th alarm. People have been evacuated from the building as the extent and the severity of the fire was not immediately clear. That's how bad the fire looked. All right, it says smoke and debris, one eyewitness wrote next to his video post of the fire, which shows smoke rising above Manhattan. It says fire department throwing anti-flame powder seems controlled, though with semi-extensive damage to the floor and at least 3 offices. 3. This fire very much well could have been, set too, but ultimately it's just symbolizes.
But that would make sense for that to happen,
right? It says, my Navy friend Kent Sasagawa and I had been in the tower minutes before, as some personnel rushed by us into the fire command room. We thought nothing of it. Michael Luke Kaiman said on Twitter, walking out and around the block, we saw people spectating, looking up. The flames just started to appear. It says Melania Trump and Barron Trump are both in Washington, D.C., according to the First Lady's spokeswoman, Stephanie Grisham, NBC New York reports. Meanwhile, President Donald Trump reassured the guests at his iconic Manhattan building, tweeting that the fire was very confined and is now out. Okay. Firemen and women did a great job. Thank you, Trump tweeted. Okay. It says Saturday's fire at Trump Tower follows an incident 3 months ago when a minor fire broke out in a cooling tower on the roof of the building. In the January 8th incident, 2 people were treated for minor injuries, right? So the Lord setting that place ablaze, man. But yeah, Trump Tower catching on fire is ultimately a sign of America's downfall. I'm gonna play this last video and then I'm gonna get into these scriptures. But yeah, that's what it means, man.
I don't know if it's out or not. We got fire crews rolling in. There's a fire in Trump Tower. Hurry up and get around the same minutes right here. Supposedly they say it's at the top, but
okay, they just showed the firefighter. All right, so I'm gonna start with this scripture. This is one of my favorite scriptures. This is Jeremiah chapter 51, verse 1. It says, no, I'm gonna start at verse 7. It says, Babylon had been a golden cup in the Lord's hand, right? Babylon is talking about America. It has been a golden cup in the Lord's hand because the Lord lifted up Babylon, by bringing his people over here and put them in slavery and having us, which we represent the 12 tribes of Israel, built this place up. It says that that made all the earth drunken. Drunken with what? Philosophies. The nations took on America's philosophies. One is monetary system. Two is democracy, which democracy entails, women can rule over the man. You can worship Satan if you want to. In the open, you can do your little chants and everything. You can be a lesbian, a homosexual. You can have sex with animals. Your kids can be transgenders. That's what American democracy entails, man. It says the nations have drunken for wine, therefore the nations are mad. Now these nations are upset because, the money is coming down, which is bringing their societies down. And as their societies coming down, as their society is coming down, women are starting to rule over the men, which is starting to mess up the economy, because that's what happens when a woman rules over men. The land falls to whoredom. That's what happens. It says, the nations have drunken for wine, therefore the nations are mad. Babylon is suddenly fallen and destroyed, right? And that's future prophecy. Babylon is going to be destroyed. Howl for her, take balm for her pain, and that balm is a healing ointment, which represents their monetary system. They put more money into the system to keep the system going, which actually devalued the currency and is bringing the system down a whole lot faster, man. It says, take balm for her pain, if so she may be healed. We would have healed Babylon, but she is not healed, right? Forsake her and let us go every one into his own country. Right, so America isn't going to be healed. These stimulus packages and QE 1, 2, 3s, and 4s did not work for America. So the nations are leaving this country. For her judgment reaches unto heaven and is lifted up even to the skies, right? So America's judgment ultimately is going to be destruction, for the rape, rob, and murder of the 12 tribes of Israel. See, we got put in slavery because we sinned against the Lord, Yahweh Shema Shai. And then at a point in time, our slavery was over. The white man furthered the affliction. So they kept us in slavery. and we were supposed to have been let go. So, now their judgment has come. Let's see. This is Lamentations chapter 4, verse 22. The punishment of thine iniquity is accomplished, O daughter of Zion, which represents the 12 tribes of Israel. Our punishment is accomplished. We sinned, we went off, we paid the price for it, you know. But now that's accomplished. It says, O daughter of, he will no more carry thee away into captivity, right? So we're not going into slavery anymore. He will visit thine iniquity, O daughter of Edom. He will discover thy sins, right? And the Lord gonna visit that their iniquity for all the wickedness that they have done, and we're gonna be able to put them in slavery, man. Because at one point in time they were supposed to let us go. This is Jeremiah chapter 50, verse 33. It says, Thus saith the Lord of hosts, the children of Israel and the children of Judah were oppressed together, right? So that's all 12 tribes of Israel. And all that took them captives held them fast. They refused to let them go, right? And that's Esau. Esau refused to let us go, man. Our captivity came to an end, and they kept us here, man. So that's one of the reasons why America is finna be destroyed, man, by thermonuclear missiles. All right, this is Jeremiah chapter 51, verse 1. It says, Thus saith the Lord, Behold, I will raise up against Babylon and against them that dwell in the midst of them that rise up against me a destroying wind, which is a nuclear wind, nuclear missiles. And I will send unto Babylon fanners that shall fan her, and shall empty her land, for in the day of trouble they shall be against her round about. Right? So the Lord gonna send nuclear missiles on this place from America's allies and the nations that America has oppressed, man. Russia, Iran, and this is Joel chapter 2, verse 1. It says, Blow ye the trumpet in Zion, which is Israel, and sound an alarm in my holy mountain, right? And we know the alarm that we're sounding is this truth, man. We're letting everybody know what's coming. Let all the inhabitants of the land tremble, right? And they're supposed to tremble behind what's coming, man. Because it's ultimately going to be the Lord coming back to destroy this place. Let all the inhabitants of the land tremble, for the day of the Lord cometh, for it is nigh at hand, right? You can see it through the prophecies in the news media, man. This right here in particular is a sign. It says a day of darkness and of gloominess, a day of clouds and of thick darkness, as the morning spread upon the mountains. A great people and a strong. They have not been ever the like, neither shall be any more after it, even to the years of many generations. Right now, the darkness is talking about the nuclear cloud. After America get hit with thermonuclear missiles, there's going to be a smoke that go up from the nuclear cloud. But that great people, it says, great people and they strong is talking about the nuclear missiles. It says a fire devoureth before them, and behind them a flame burneth. The land is as the Garden of Eden before them, right? Because America was as the Garden of Eden at one point in time. And behind them a desolate wilderness, right? Because that's what's going to be left. Yea, and nothing shall escape them, right? So if you plan on, getting you some type of bunker to hide in over here in America to escape the nuclear missiles, like I think the movie was called The Divide, and they hid from the nuclear missiles in the basement, which is basically like a bunker unto them. But at the end of the movie, the lady came out of the basement, and the place was totally, desolate. Everything was on fire. It was from a nuclear bomb. But yeah, it's not gonna be like that over here in America, man. The Lord gonna have it to where them if you if you up one of them 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 fallout shelters, so to speak, or fallout shelters, then you just gonna be missile food. This is Isaiah chapter 54, verse 16. It said, "Behold, I have created the smith that bloweth the coals and the fire, and that bringeth forth an instrument for his work." Right. The smith represents the scientist that the Lord used to create the missile. And I have created the waster to destroy. Right. And the waster is talking about the nuclear missile. All right, this is the last scripture. This is Ecclesiasticus chapter 38, verse 28. It says, "There be spirits that are created for vengeance, which in their fury lay on sore strokes, and in time of destruction they pour out their force and appease the wrath of him that made them. Fire and hail and famine and death, all these were created for vengeance." Right, so this nuclear missile was created for vengeance, man. The fire in Trump Tower, which killed one, was for vengeance. It says, fire and hail and famine and death, all these were created for vengeance, right? Because one person died in this building, and there's going to be multiple deaths once these missiles hit. Teeth of wild beasts and scorpions, serpents and the sword, punishing the wicked to destruction. So that's the punishment. They shall rejoice in his commandment, and they shall be ready upon earth when need is. And when their time is come, they shall not transgress his word. Right, so them spirits are actual angels, the death angels that's going around killing people by way of fire, famines, and all they do is just bring death, and they here to do the will of the Lord, man. So with that being said, all praise to Yahweh, by Shema Shai, by Shema Krakodash, double honors to the elders and apostles that rule well.